What if the shadiest corner of your yard is actually your most valuable growing real estate and you've been leaving it completely empty? Most gardeners write shade off entirely. They chase that 6 to 8 hour sun window and leave every dark corner abandoned, convinced nothing worth growing survives there. But there are 10 fruit trees and fruiting plants shaped by evolution to thrive in low light. Plants that grow fruit you cannot find in any grocery store. Flavors so exotic your neighbors won't know what they're looking at. And every single one grows in a pot. I'm counting all 10 down today, finishing at number 1, the king of shade fruit trees. A plant that produces tropical tasting fruit in Zone 5, thrives in a container, and barely needs sun to do it. This is Golden Vault Garden. Stay until number 1. It'll change how you see every dark corner of your property.
Number 10. Miracle fruit. The name is exactly what it sounds like. This compact shrub produces small red berries, and when you eat one, something almost unbelievable happens. A glycoprotein called miraculin binds to taste receptors on your tongue. For the next 30 minutes to 2 hours, everything sour tastes sweet. Lemons taste like lemonade. Vinegar tastes like apple juice. Greek yogurt tastes like cheesecake. Sounds made up. It's not. Here's why it's on this list. Miracle fruit is a tropical understory plant. In the wild, it grows beneath the canopy of West African rainforests. It hates direct afternoon sun. Too much light causes leaf scorch and kills fruit production. Bright indirect light or filtered shade is where it thrives. USDA zones 10 through 11 outdoors, but it stays compact, under 5 feet, making it one of the best container candidates in colder zones. Bring it inside for winter. Use a well-draining acidic mix, pH 4.5 to 5.5, blueberry-style soil. Needs humidity, consistent moisture, and warmth. Bonus, miracle fruit has been studied as a therapeutic tool for cancer patients undergoing chemotherapy who experience metallic taste disturbances. Not just a party trick, real medical interest. If you host dinner parties, this plant makes you the most interesting person in the room. Every single time. Number 9. Surinam Cherry, Eugenia uniflora. Number 9. Surinam Cherry. This one flies so far under the radar, it's almost criminal. It's a fast-growing, compact fruiting shrub with glossy, dark leaves that flush a stunning copper red when new growth emerges. The fruits are small, deeply ribbed, and look like miniature pumpkins, ranging from yellow to orange to deep blood red to near black depending on ripeness. The flavor is complex, tart, resinous, slightly spicy with a cherry base. Here's your harvesting cue. The darker the fruit, the sweeter it gets. Pick them when they're almost black. Most people pick too early and wonder why they're disappointed. Shade tolerance is genuinely impressive. Surinam cherry grows naturally as a forest edge and understory plant across South America. Partial to moderate shade? No problem. USDA zones 9B through 11 outdoors. Brilliant container candidate in colder zones. Well-draining tropical potting mix, consistently moist but never waterlogged. Responds beautifully to pruning. Bonus, the leaves are aromatic, peppery, eucalyptus-like, used in traditional medicine across Brazil and the Caribbean for centuries. The plant also repels certain insects, making it a useful companion in any container garden. And in warm climates, it fruits multiple times per year. Multiple times.
Number 8. Feijoa, also called pineapple guava. If you haven't tasted one yet, I genuinely feel sorry for you. The flavor is a wild, intoxicating combination of pineapple, guava, mint, and something almost floral, unlike anything else. And the flowers are edible too, thick, sweet petals you can toss straight into a salad. Feijoa is native to the highland regions of southern Brazil, Uruguay, and Argentina. Cool, often overcast, partially shaded conditions, not your typical full-sun tropical. Cold hardy for a subtropical fruit, USDA zones 8 through 11, some cultivars into zone 7 with protection. For shade, it handles partial shade well, and in hotter climates, afternoon shade actually improves fruit quality by preventing the fruit from drying out on the branch. Best container cultivars: Coolidge, Mammoth, Apollo. All self-fertile. One plant gets you fruit. Pot in at least 15 to 20 gallons, well-draining mix. Drought-tolerant once established. Bonus? While everyone else in temperate zones is fighting to grow citrus, you'll be harvesting exotic pineapple-flavored fruit your neighbors will ask about every single time. That's the Golden Vault Garden advantage. Number 7. Jaboticaba, dwarf varieties. Plinia cauliflora. This tree will make your jaw drop the first time it fruits. The fruit doesn't grow on branches like a normal tree. It erupts directly from the trunk and main stems. Dark, grape-like berries covering the bark like a deep purple constellation. It looks fake. It looks like someone glued fruit onto the wood as a prank. It is not a prank. It's just Jaboticaba. The flavor is a cross between a grape and a lychee. Thick skin that pops when you bite it, sweet gelatinous pulp, slightly tangy. Eaten fresh, fermented into wine, made into jam. A massive culinary fruit in Brazil. Jaboticaba is an understory tree. In its native Atlantic forest habitat, it grows beneath the canopy, genuinely shade-adapted. Partial to moderate shade works perfectly. USDA zones 9B through 11 outdoors, zone 9A with protection. Because it's naturally slow-growing and compact, it's become one of the most popular indoor fruiting trees in the world. Growers in zone 5 keep these near bright windows and harvest indoors. Bonus? Jaboticaba has been studied for exceptionally high antioxidant content, specifically anthocyanins in the skin. Ounce for ounce, it rivals blueberry as an antioxidant powerhouse. You're not just growing something visually wild, you're growing something almost nobody in your area has ever seen in person.
Number 6. Black Currant, Ribes nigrum. And if you're in North America, there's a reason you've probably never tasted one fresh. Black currant was banned across large parts of the United States in the early 1900s. The federal government classified it as a threat to the logging industry because it can carry a fungal disease affecting white pine trees. The ban lasted for decades. Some states only lifted it recently. A fruit so potent it got federally outlawed. The flavor is intense, dark, almost winey, and deeply aromatic. Nothing like red currant. Nothing like anything from a grocery store. In the UK and Europe, it's a staple. Jams, cordials, liqueurs. In North American gardens, it's still a secret. Shade performance. Black currant is a woodland edge plant by nature, handles partial shade exceptionally well. In hotter climates, afternoon shade is preferred to protect fruit quality. USDA zones 3 through 7. One of your best cold climate shade fruiting options. For containers, cultivar Ben Sarek, compact, high-yielding, excellent disease resistance, 10 to 15 gallon pot, slightly acidic soil, pH 6 to 6.5, consistently moist. Bonus, black currant contains roughly 4 times the vitamin C of oranges by weight, among the highest anthocyanin levels of any edible fruit ever tested, studied for vision support, cardiovascular health, and immune function. You are growing a berry that outperforms orange juice in vitamin C, in partial shade, in a pot.
Before we get to the top 5, quick pause. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe now. I bet you don't want to miss what's in store for next week. Golden Vault Garden is cooking something for its community. Also, like and share this video. It helps YouTube push the video to a wider audience. Now let's continue.
Number 5. Lingonberry, Vaccinium vitis idea. This one surprises people because it's technically a low-growing shrub, but it earns its place because it's evergreen, fruits twice a year, and is one of the most shade-tolerant edible plants you can grow in a container in a temperate climate. Lingonberry is native to boreal forests across Scandinavia, northern Russia, Canada, and the northern U.S. It grows naturally on the forest floor under thick conifer canopies. Shade is its home address. Partial to full shade, it handles it all. The berries are tart, cranberry-like, bright red, loaded with antioxidants and vitamin C. In Scandinavia, it's a staple, the condiment equivalent of ketchup in Sweden. In North American gardens, almost nobody grows it. USDA zones 2 through 7. If you're in zone 3 or 4 with brutal winters and heavy shade, Lingonberry is one of your best friends. Acidic, well-draining soil, pH 4.5 to 5.5, same blend as blueberries. Keep it consistently moist. Stays under 12 inches tall, perfect for smaller pots. Bonus: 2 crops per year, spring and fall, twice the harvest window of most fruiting plants. And because it's evergreen, it adds year-round interest to your container garden. Pair it with a taller shade-tolerant tree, and you've built a multi-layered edible display that looks genuinely intentional.
Number 4, Serviceberry or Saskatoonberry. Also called Saskatoonberry. Best container cultivars, Regent and Honeywood. This one gets slept on hard. It's a native North American small tree or large shrub, and it might be the most all-around spectacular edible landscape plant you can grow. In early spring, it explodes in white blossoms before anything else wakes up. In early summer, clusters of dark purple berries that taste like a blueberry crossed with an almond. In fall, the foliage turns brilliant orange and red. 3 seasons of visual interest, edible fruit, native to North America, shade-tolerant, compact enough for containers. I'm genuinely baffled it's not in every backyard. Naturally grows along forest edges and in partial shade of mixed woodlands. Regent stays under 4 to 6 feet, ideal for large containers. USDA zones 2 through 9, one of the widest cold hardiness ranges on this list. Standard well-draining mix, moderate water. In hotter zones, partial shade produces sweeter fruit. That's not a compromise, that's an upgrade. Bonus: high in manganese, iron, and antioxidants. A staple food for indigenous peoples across North America for thousands of years. Eaten fresh, dried, mixed into pemmican. Deeply storied, highly productive, and wildly underused. Number 3, Haskap or Honeyberry, also called Honeyberry. Advanced cultivars, Indigo Gem and Borealis. This is a fruiting plant bred in some of the harshest growing environments on Earth: Siberia, the Russian Far East, northern Japan. Cold hardy means flowering buds surviving down to -4 degrees Fahrenheit. Some cultivars handle -13. This thing is practically indestructible. The berries look like elongated blueberries, deep blue-purple with a waxy bloom. The flavor is a more intense version of blueberry with tart notes and sometimes a hint of elderberry or black currant. Borealis is sweeter. Indigo Gem is more tart and aromatic. Plant them together. You need at least 2 cultivars for cross-pollination, and that pairing dramatically increases yield. It thrives in partial shade, USDA zones 3 through 7. Compact cultivars stay under 4 to 5 feet, perfect for 15 to 25-gallon containers. Slightly acidic, well-draining soil, regular moisture. It prefers cooler root temperatures, which means a container in partial shade is nearly ideal. Bonus: Haskap ripens earlier than virtually any other fruiting plant, sometimes late May or early June, weeks before strawberries or blueberries. And its anthocyanin content is among the highest ever recorded in an edible fruit, studied for cardiovascular benefits, anti-inflammatory properties, and cognitive support. Most home gardeners have never seen one in person.
Number 2, Cornelian Cherry, Cornus Mass. This might be the single most underappreciated fruiting tree in all of temperate horticulture. It's technically in the dogwood family, not a true cherry, but it produces fruit that looks almost exactly like a bright red cherry. Shiny, elongated, vivid red to deep burgundy when fully ripe. The flavor is tart and complex, somewhere between a sour cherry and a cranberry, with an almost wine-like depth at peak ripeness. In Eastern Europe, Turkey, and the Caucasus, it's been cultivated for literally thousands of years. Ancient Rome, archaeological evidence of cultivation going back over 5,000 years. In North American gardens, almost nobody grows it. Baffling. Shade tolerance is exceptional.
It naturally grows as an understory tree beneath oaks and large canopy trees. Partial to moderate shade is perfectly fine. USDA zones 4 through 8. Blooms in late winter, sometimes February, producing golden yellow flowers before a single leaf appears. One of the earliest nectar sources for pollinators in the entire year. For containers, cultivars Jolico, Pioneer, or Elegant, selected for larger, sweeter fruit. Standard well-draining mix, moderate water, relatively drought-tolerant once established. Bonus, one of the highest vitamin C contents of any temperate fruit, higher than citrus, used in folk medicine across Eurasia for centuries. Also contains iridoid glycosides studied for anti-diabetic properties. You're growing a medicine cabinet in a pot, and your neighbors will just think it's a pretty red-fruited tree. Number 1. Pawpaw, cultivars Sunflower and Allegheny. And number 1. The absolute king of shade fruit trees for container growing, Pawpaw. If there is one plant from this entire list I want every single person watching this to grow, in a pot, in a shady corner they gave up on, it's this one. Pawpaw is the largest edible fruit native to North America. The flavor is legitimately unlike anything you've tasted from a temperate fruit tree. Dense, custardy, tropical. People describe it as a cross between banana, mango, vanilla custard, and papaya. That description is accurate and still doesn't fully capture it. Here's what blows people's minds. Pawpaw is not tropical. It's cold hardy to USDA Zone 5. Some sources push Zone 4 with the right site selection. It evolved in the deep understory of eastern North American forests, in the shade beneath oaks, maples, and tulip poplars. A shade-evolved fruit tree that produces tropical-tasting fruit in Zone 5. Let that sink in. For containers, Sunflower and Allegheny are your cultivars, developed for improved fruit quality, earlier bearing, and compact growth. You'll need 2 for cross-pollination. Pawpaw is not self-fertile. Plan for 30 to 35-gallon pots minimum. Deep, well-draining, slightly acidic soil. Consistent moisture, it does not like to dry out when young. Critical detail most people get wrong: young pawpaw plants need shade. In their first 2 to 3 years, they genuinely struggle in full sun. After that, they can handle more light, but they never need intense full sun conditions. In a shaded container, the plant is happy by default. Pollination tip: pawpaw flowers are pollinated by flies and beetles, not bees. Hand pollinate with a small paintbrush, transferring pollen between the 2 cultivars when flowers are open. 5 minutes. Dramatically increases fruit set. The leaves and twigs contain natural insecticidal compounds, which is why deer and most insects leave pawpaw trees completely alone. In a container garden, that means virtually zero pest pressure. A productive, tropical-tasting, wildlife-resistant, shade-loving, cold-hardy fruit tree that lives in a pot. Why is everyone still growing apple?
Before we close, if this list showed you what's possible with shade in containers, the complete plant care handbook at plantcarehandbook.lovable.app goes even deeper. Soil systems, fertilization schedules, container sizing, seasonal care. Built for the kind of gardener who watches this channel. It's $27 and linked in the description. So, there you have it. 10 shade-loving fruit trees that laugh at low light and thrive in containers. From miracle fruit at number 10, the berry that bends your taste perception, through black currant, the fruit so potent it got federally banned, all the way to pawpaw at number 1, the custard apple of the American forest. Here's what I want you to actually do. Look around your space right now. Find your shadiest corner, the spot you wrote off, because there's a very good chance one of these 10 plants belongs there, producing rare, spectacular fruit that nobody around you is growing. If you're not subscribed to Golden Vault Garden yet, think about what you almost missed today. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications. This content doesn't repeat itself, and neither does a missed harvest season. Now go find that shady corner. It's been waiting for you.